welcome back to First Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be giving a quick update on NIO based on request. If you would like to see my full DD on this stock, including long-term view, you're going to have to click in the link below to the description, although it's outdated for quite 3 days, so the long-term is more effective than the short-term on that video. So 1 month, 1 day here quickly, and then we're going to go through 1 hour interval, and then I'm going to go on and compare some charts as well and show why this is a sympathy play. So, looking into the MACD here, you get to see that the stock is increasing here quite substantially. So you can see the MACD line is above the signal line, which is amazing. Momentum seems to be very high, so that might be not very stable at this moment. The William percent R seems to be a little bit at the very high level of overbought, but it has been quite since the 30th of June, so since the end of the last month. The average directional index is a bit too high, which signals usually a time to cash out and leave out the stock. So I've definitely considered not buying it on a 1 day perspective here. The 10 SMA is highly above the 30 SMA, so that's amazing, and the stock price is above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. Going into 5 days, 1 hour period, we get to see here that the stock has had a little bit of a negative MACD, and it looks like it's actually starting to get a little bit fixed in the extended market, but you need to a little bit to see a confirmation in the pre-market. So what you might have is something very similar to what you're seeing somewhere around here, where you get to see a little bit of positive into the next day. The stock price currently is under the VWAP, above the VWAP, which is a good thing. It's above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA on a 1 hour perspective. Now, the average directional index shows a sloppy movement for the next day or so. The William percent R seems to be a little bit more at a neutral level during the day after a little bit of selling off. So 1 hour perspective, that's what you're getting. Now, quickly here, we get to see that it's way above the moving averages, so that might be a little bit too dangerous to play into here in case it drops back to somewhere around between, I would say, $8 and $9, even though I don't think it will drop that quickly, even if it does drop at all. Now, the next thing here I want to show is the price, the Fibonacci retracements quickly to see what the next support is, as well as traditional methods. So we get to see that the current support, major support, is sitting at 1378 for Fibonacci retracements, although it seems to have a good support somewhere around 1486 that has been seen around here as a resistance. And the next current resistance would probably be around the 15.9, since that's the only one I see in this period. And then the next support would be somewhere around 14.2 that it has tested during the day. Now, you get to see on the RSI, we're going to go do quickly here, 1 month, 1 day, that the stock has been quite a bit overbought for literally way back into early June. The last time it was not overbought was back in the 2nd of June. And you get to see that the chart looks very similar to what's happened since early June, and it seems to be on a high uptrend that is not stopping anytime soon. But what is this causing? What is this coming from? Here on blue, you get to see a map of Tesla's kind of stocks movements. And you get to see that it very much mimics the dips and the drops and the same kind of movements that Tesla does have. So this is a sympathy play for Tesla, because it's considered the Chinese Tesla in that perspective, even though Tesla has had major Chinese operations in the last bit. So that kind of movement can be seen all the way back, and you get to see a little bit of resemblance. For instance, this part of the chart looks very much identical. And you get to see that kind of movements into the 1 day perspective looks very much alike. So even in the March dip, it did get a bit of a pullback, but you get to see that ever since somewhere around after March, it has played really nicely with this one. Thank you very much. What do you think about the stock? Make sure you mention it down in the comment below. If you have any other updates that I didn't mention today, make sure you mention it down in the comments below as well. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.